The night sky over Damascus erupted in violent orange as explosions shattered the city's uneasy calm. Sirens wailed, families scrambled for shelter, and the terror of war returned in an instant. Social media lit up with blurry videos of air defense missiles streaking through the night. Syrian state media quickly blamed Israel, claiming most missiles were intercepted. A familiar script meant to reassure, but few felt reassured. By morning, tension hung heavy in the air. People went about their routines, but fear lingered just beneath the surface. Conversations in cafes and markets revolved around survival, not daily life. The strikes were a stark reminder: peace in Syria remains a distant dream. Even in the capital, no one is truly safe from the region's power struggles. This single night was a symptom of a much deeper conflict. The Syrian war, though often out of the headlines, continues to simmer with dangerous intensity. For Syrians, it was another night of terror in a war with no end in sight. The Israeli Air Force struck targets in Syria, continuing its shadow war with Iran. Israel's goal: prevent Iran and its allies like Hezbollah from entrenching near its borders. The strikes targeted sites linked to Iran's Revolutionary Guard key nodes in the supply chain to Hezbollah. Each attack aims to disrupt Iran's regional ambitions while avoiding direct escalation with Syria or Russia. Syria condemned the strikes, Iran vowed a response, and the cycle of threats and counter-threats continued. For Israel, these are defensive measures to prevent a more dangerous future. Syria remains a battleground for regional powers, making peace ever more elusive. In the wake of the Damascus strikes, the U.S. issued a warning. Specific steps would be taken to reduce violence in Syria. The announcement was vague. No details, no timeline, just a signal of intent. Diplomats and analysts speculated: was this a real policy shift or just diplomatic posturing? The timing was no accident. It was a message to Syria, Russia, and Iran that the U.S. was watching closely. Strong words, but without action, they risk being dismissed as empty threats. This ambiguity is a common tactic, projecting strength while keeping options open. But if not followed by real action, it could undermine U.S. credibility. The world waits to see if these words will be matched by deeds. For now, uncertainty reigns. What might these specific steps be? One option: ramp up diplomatic pressure, pushing for new ceasefires or talks with Russia and Turkey. Another: tighten economic sanctions on those backing the Syrian regime, aiming to cut off resources fueling the war. Sanctions can hurt the government, but often hit ordinary Syrians hardest. A riskier move: military measures like enforcing no-fly zones or boosting support for local partners, such as the Syrian Democratic Forces. Or perhaps the announcement is more bluff than planned, a way to appear proactive without real change. Some analysts see it as a diplomatic tool to buy time and manage perceptions. If so, little will change, and the conflict will grind on. The true meaning of specific steps remains as murky as ever. Beneath the headlines, the Syrian people bear the brunt of this endless war. Every airstrike, every policy decision means more risk for civilians: death, injury, or displacement. Millions have fled their homes, many living in overcrowded camps with scarce resources. Children know only war, missing out on education and safety. The economy is shattered, hospitals and schools lie in ruins. Most Syrians rely on humanitarian aid, struggling daily just to survive. Sanctions and strikes meant to pressure leaders often make life harder for ordinary people. For them, these geopolitical moves are not abstract. They are life and death. A new sanction means less food. A missile strike could mean losing a home. Syrians are trapped in a conflict fought by others on their land. They long for peace and a chance to rebuild, but remain at the mercy of distant powers. Their suffering is the true cost of this forever war. As the dust settles, Syria's future remains uncertain. Will the promised specific steps lead to real change, or is this just another cycle of empty words? Regional powers, Israel, Iran, Turkey, hold the keys to escalation or de-escalation. One miscalculation could ignite a wider conflict, devastating the region. Rebuilding Syria will require more than an end to fighting. It demands reconciliation, justice, and massive reconstruction. For now, hope is fragile, and the world watches to see if action will follow rhetoric. The fate of Syria hangs in the balance, its future written in question marks. Until then, Syrians endure, waiting for the night when the sky is finally free of fire.